All right, good evening. At this time, we'll recall to order the regular meeting of the Suffern Central Board of Education, Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. Let the record reflect all board members are present with the exception of Mrs. Jen Hodge. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Student report.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. We've got a few things going on at the high school in the next couple weeks. Tonight, there's office hours at the high school, more parent-teacher conferences. From 6 to 8, it's last names L to Z, I believe. Tomorrow, the high school musical reveal will be during lunch. I know Mr. McCarter and Mr. Schwartz put together a big video. They've been dropping clues all week. Next Wednesday, there's a district-wide social emotional learning presentation in the high school library from 7 to 9. All winter sports are well underway now. I know even girls basketball had a scrimmage today, so everything's going good with that. A lot of clubs are starting to do the holiday drives. I know like History Honor Society is doing a sock drive for National Sock Day. The Interact Club is making holiday gift bags for Meals on Wheels, and clubs are really starting to get into all their events that they planned. Heroes and Cool Kids had their first training at Ramapo College today, and that's about it. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. You're welcome.
Thank you. And should I say go Skyhawks? Go Skyhawks.
Go Skyhawks. Congratulations. That's amazing.
It always mountain.
All right. I apologize. I do apologize. I did skip ahead unknowingly. 1.05 is the public hearing on the proposed resolution to implement the real property tax exemption for volunteer firefighters. And this would be an opportunity for anybody who had anything to say on this matter to be able to speak. So again, I apologize for skipping this previously, but I think Dr. Castellane just wanted to
Thank you.
talk briefly.
So as you know, tonight we have a resolution for the New York Real Estate Public Tax Law, Section 466. And the resolution that is up for tonight, I just wanted to point out that it mirrors, we have three taxing bodies. We have Tuxedo, Haverstraw, and Ramapo. So in order to fully capture what each of those municipalities are granting their firefighters and ambulance workers, our resolution is written to mirror that. So if you are a firefighter in the Haverstraw district, the school district will mirror their resolution, same as Ramapo and the same as Tuxedo. So with that, if you'd like to open it up for the public hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if there's anybody who would like to speak on this. Seeing as there are none, we will close the public hearing. 1.09, the minutes of the regular meeting of November 7th, 2023. Do I have a motion? Mr. Frazier? Second? Mr. Donnelly? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 All those against? Any abstentions? 1.10, superintendent comments.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We're just starting to talk about the big reveal for the spring musical. Very exciting stuff. But before we get there, I just want to make sure that we highlight the just exceptional work of our high school actors, our thespians, along with all the adults that helped guide them through a very interesting, unique, and very entertaining production of Brothers Grimm Spectaculathon. To make sure I got the title correct right there. It was hilarious, creative, enjoyable, just a fantastic production by the students at the high school. Really job well done, and it just only adds to the excitement about the big reveal tomorrow. We had an opportunity last week to have our Mountie Minds. That's our community forum that comes together about 4 times a year to contribute thoughts and ideas about the direction of the Suffern Central School District. At our last meeting, I want to thank Ms. Weber for being there, Ms. Mermelstein for really leading the charge with this, and I want to also acknowledge our middle school and high school administrative teams, particularly the principals, Dr. Trust and Mr. Adler, who are on hand to really talk about some of the initiatives that are taking place at the middle school right now, and also the initiatives that are taking place at the high school right now, and share what their future looks like for the middle school and high school to gain feedback, thoughts, comments, a lot of excitement as well, and some concerns that our community members had at that meeting. Really, it was a very productive, exciting, and thought-provoking meeting, and we look forward to our next meeting of Mountie Minds coming up at the end of January. Of course, I want to take a moment to acknowledge just the incredible service and dedication of our dear colleague, former colleague, Janice Buno, who passed away several days ago. She was a longtime teacher, physical education teacher, primarily at RP Connor for many, many years, as well as a dedicated coach of a whole variety of different sports. I never had the pleasure of working with Janice, but her daughter, of course, is a valued staff member at the middle school, and her husband was a longtime athletic director as well. Just the legacy that Janice had and continues to have here at Suffern Central really reminds us of the positive impact that educators and coaches have on the countless students that they serve. Those little and large interactions that people have really have a lasting impression on our young minds. And as I was visiting with the family yesterday, I ran into so many people online to give their condolences who just talked about what a wonder Janice was for their children and in many cases themselves. So I want to make sure that we convey our thoughts and condolences to the Buno family and thank them for just their incredible service to the Suffern Central School District. Now, on to happier, more exciting topics. I would like to give the podium over to our Suffern PTA Council President, Ms. Karen Grossman, who is going to talk to us a little bit about the work that she and her team have been doing about the potential options for our PTAs and what that looks like next year with the elementary school restructuring. So thank you so much for coming and visiting with us today.
Thank you for having me. Yes, so when I heard about the restructuring, I immediately reached out to New York State for guidance and how this is handled. So I found out that our Suffern PTA Council, that's where the vote is held. So each board member of council has a vote, and each unit, the current units, have 2 votes. The president has a vote, and then the council representative has a vote. So that's how this will happen. And speaking with, oh my goodness, like 20 different PTAs have all gone restructuring. I asked pros, cons, what did you do? What worked, didn't work? And I brought back the 4 most viable options that we're voting on in January. So the first one is that each individual school would have their own PTA. So Connor, Montebello, Cherry Lane, and Sloatsburg would each have an individual PTA. Then the idea of we just did one large PTA because part of, I guess, inconsistencies in PTA, especially with programming, this would kind of help unite us. But then the idea of less votes came into play. So we'll see how people feel about that. But we get to completely redo our bylaws and how voting happens from now on. So that's something to consider. We talked about the sister schools having joint PTAs. So Sloatsburg and Montebello would have one PTA, and then Connor and Cherry Lane could have another PTA. But then the idea again about consistent programming, our 4th option is we have a lower PTA. So Sloatsburg and Connor could have a joint PTA. And then we'd have an upper PTA of Montebello, Cherry Lane. So more programs are coordinated that way. So those are the 4 options. They're going to be presented. Some of them have already started presenting them. They're going to be there all of December, beginning of January, and then we'll be voting mid-January on a decision. So if anyone has questions, they can always reach out to the PTA. We're on Facebook. We have email Suffern Central, SCSD, PTA Council at gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Grossman. We appreciate that update. And of course, if there's anything that the administration can do to help facilitate the work that you're doing, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you for being such a good partner. Thank you. And this concludes my superintendent comments.
All right, thank you. 1.11, public participation. This is public participation on action items only. If there is any member of the public who wishes to speak on any of our action items tonight, you can approach the podium. Seeing as there are none, we will close that portion of the meeting and move into our action items. Tonight, we have action items 2.01 through 2.18. Is there any item that any board member wishes to pull from a consent agenda at this time? 2.05. Okay. Any others? Okay. So then I will call for a consent agenda for action items 2.01 through 2.14, 2.16 through 2.18. Do I have a motion? Mr. Shapiro, second? Second. Ms. Dickman? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 All those against? Any abstentions? 2.05, this is the resolution on the implementation of the property tax exemption for the volunteer firefighters. Do I have a motion? Mr. Shapiro, second? Mr. Frazier, any discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to say a few words to the volunteers here. Just recognize what they contribute to the community here. This is well deserved, and I'm happy to support it. People don't realize the training that these fellas go through, the hours of training, getting up in the middle of the night, answering even dry alarms, nothing going on, but they're getting out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and they know they're going to a toast burning, but they still get up and go. So you fellas, I just recognize what you do and I thank you for it. And I'm happy to support this exemption for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Mr. Frazier.
Tommy has said almost exactly what I was going to say, but thank you to the volunteer firemen, the ambulance services, the men and women that put their volunteerism up front for our community. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. So for 2.05, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? Any abstentions? All right. Thank you all very much. 6.01, board member comments. Are there any board member comments at this time? Ms. Dickman? Mr. Frazier?
Just want to wish the Suffern Central School District family and their friends and everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
So I was also lucky enough to go see the high school play, and it was, I won't even say the title, but it was complicated, but it was really excellent. The staging was really creative, and it really is great to see students really stretching themselves in ways that are unexpected, and just doing a great job, but also just having as much fun on stage as the audience was having. It was really a remarkable experience. Also, I'd like to acknowledge our excellent communications department in the district. Frequently we're getting more and better communication coming out just over the past year with the revamped website, the improvements to the Excelsior, the Mountie Minds program, which is encouraging lots of communication from members in the district. And now just recently, the recap of the Board of Education meetings that are being transmitted. So they're not quite as exciting as attending the meeting itself. But if you don't have the opportunity to sit through the whole thing, it's a really useful resource to just keep up. Doesn't take very long to just keep up with what's happening in the district. I know communication is something that's always on the mind of parents and students. So I'm really happy to see the progress in that area.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right. 7.01, public participation. This is public participation on district-related matters. If any member of the public wishes to speak on district-related business, you can approach the podium. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes, and please no naming of individual staff, faculty, or students. Any speakers at this time? All right. We'll close that portion of the meeting and move to our superintendent closing comments.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thus concludes the superintendent comments.
I didn't even need to unmute my mic.
No.
All right. All right. So as Dr. Gunderson said, the board would like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy some time with your families. Enjoy some time relaxing, hopefully. Football games. And we will see you again here in Hilburn in 2 weeks. It'll be Tuesday, December 5th. And at this time, we'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Donnelly, second?
Second.
Ms. Dickman? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you all very much. This meeting is adjourned. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.